They called him the King of Bread. His bakery was the pride of the city, his pastries famous far beyond the neighborhood. But behind the golden crusts and sweet aromas, one man's appetite was quietly writing his eternal destiny. And here's the shocking truth. Gluttony is not just about eating too much. It is about living for yourself, feeding your pleasures while ignoring God and others. Today, you will hear the story of Thomas Miller, a story of bread, laughter, excess, and a terrifying judgment that none of us can afford to ignore. But before we begin, let me ask you, is your stomach ruling your life more than your soul? If this story stirs you, make sure to subscribe, because here we uncover the hidden sins that few dare to talk about. Thomas Miller was a household name. His bakery, Miller's Oven, was always packed. The smell of fresh sourdough, donuts glazed with sugar, and steaming apple pies filled the air. Families loved him. Politicians posed for photos in his shop. Tourists lined up just to taste his bread. But while people saw a gifted baker, heaven saw something darker, a man enslaved by his appetite. He didn't bake to bless people. He baked to indulge himself. One Sunday, the city hired him to bake bread for the community fair. Dozens of baskets were meant to feed poor families. Through the night, ovens burned hot, loaves stacked high, but Thomas couldn't resist. One basket gone, then another, bite after bite. By morning, when he finally delivered what was left, many families received nothing. Thomas just shrugged. It's still plenty for them. Besides, who could resist bread this fresh? His belly was satisfied, but others went home empty-handed. Months later, a charity asked Thomas to prepare soup and bread for the homeless during a freezing winter night. He agreed, filling pots with steaming broth and baskets with hearty loaves. But on his way to deliver them, a new idea flashed. Why not make this a feast with my friends tonight? He detoured to his home, turned the charity meal into a dinner party, and sent only scraps to the homeless outreach. That night, the poor slept hungry in the cold, while Thomas and his friends laughed over wine and bread. When his church entered a season of fasting, Thomas refused. Instead, he turned it into entertainment. He fried donuts right in front of the bakery window and waved them at friends walking by. Taste buds are a gift from God, he laughed, holding warm pastries under the noses of people trying to pray and fast. What was a joke to him was a record in heaven, mocking holiness, tempting others, ridiculing self-control. One day, his sister called in desperation. "Thomas, Mom is very sick. We need money now for her medicine. Please help us." He promised he would. But on the way to the pharmacy, he spotted a rare French butter, the secret ingredient for the next baking competition. He chose the butter. His mother only got her medicine later, thanks to neighbors' pity. Once again, appetite triumphed over love. Months passed. Thomas hosted a donut eating contest at his bakery, proud of his fame, drowning in laughter and sugar. But in the middle of the feast, he choked on a piece of bread. The crowd screamed. Paramedics rushed, but it was too late. Thomas opened his eyes in a courtroom brighter than 1,000 suns, the judgment hall of heaven. Before him stood the throne of the King of Kings, and from the shadows stepped the accuser, dressed in black, unrolling a scroll longer than Thomas could see. "Your Honor," the voice thundered, "this man used his gift only for himself. He stole bread meant for the poor. He robbed the homeless of warmth. He mocked those who fasted. He abandoned his mother for butter. His belly was his god." Suddenly, the courtroom became like a living screen. Scene after scene replayed. The baskets stolen at the fair, the soup given to friends, the donuts waved at fasting believers, the butter chosen over his mother. Thomas fell to his knees, trembling. "Please stop. I didn't mean harm. I didn't know." But the judge's eyes were both fire and sorrow. "Thomas," the voice of Christ spoke, "I gave you a gift to feed the world, but you fed only yourself. You were invited to my banquet, but you never hungered for me. Your name is not written in the book of life." The great doors opened, and the righteous entered the marriage supper of the Lamb. Music, joy, and light filled the air. But as Thomas stepped forward, the doors shut in his face. From outside, he could hear the laughter of the redeemed. But for him, there was only silence, darkness, and eternal regret. "My friend, Gluttony is not just overeating. It is living as if your desires matter more than God, more than people, more than eternity. The Bible warns, their God is their stomach, their glory is in their shame. Philippians 3:19. And again, do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat, for drunkards and gluttons become poor. Proverbs 23:20-21. But Jesus gives hope. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Matthew 5:6. Thomas's story is fiction, but the warning is real. Don't trade eternity for temporary pleasures. Don't let your stomach rule your destiny. Feed your soul with the Word of God. Fill your hands with generosity. Set your heart on Christ, because the only banquet worth living for is the banquet of heaven. If this story has opened your eyes, subscribe now and join us as we reveal more life-changing truths hidden in the Bible. Don't keep this to yourself. Share this story, because someone you know may need this warning before it's too late.